Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I'm going to make a video that's going to be a little controversial, but every really good coach out there knows that I'm right. They know that I'm right because we talk about this stuff with each other, right? We talk to each other about this stuff, and we know that most of programming to get through plateaus is complete bullshit. All right, how do you get through a plateau? Watch what I'm doing in this video. That's it. Done. Welcome to my TED Talk. We can shut this down. See me doing a bunch of hypertrophy work. Everything in this video is 10 plus reps on some sort of multi-joint movement or single joint movement, right? Throughout it, I think I'm doing some pause benching, some dumbbell benching, some tricep extensions, some rows, some safety bar squats, everything 10 plus reps. Why? It's good for hypertrophy, good stimulus to fatigue. Because that's it. That's how you get through a plateau. You get bigger. That's it. And I really do mean that. When you see coaches who are like, well, here's what we need to get this plateau. We'll do these 3 sets of 3, and then the 2 sets of 2, and the 5 sets of 2, and we're going to do them at this RP and this percentage. Okay, they're doing it on a big lift. It's to convince clients that they know some magical secret with the programming, because when you look at all that stuff, it really does nothing other than what? Helps you lift heavy. You're just lifting heavy. That's it. Do you really think it matters that you're changing those, that you go, let's say, well, we did 3 sets of 3 with this weight. Let's go to 4 sets of 3, then 5 sets of 3, and then 3 sets of 2, and we'll just slowly increase the weight from there, right? This little undulating scheme. And they're like, oh, I magically broke through the plateau. We did this little scheme, and in 6 weeks, I hit a PR. Do you think it mattered that you did whatever sets of 2 and 3? Were they heavy? Yeah. Were they heavy? Did you do some heavy low rep work that was relatively challenging? Like, well, it wasn't challenging until the last set. Yeah, because a lot of it's bullshit before that. It was challenging. You did some challenging heavy work. It was all programmed in a way so that you didn't overtrain, that observed your fatigue management. And then you got bigger during that 6 weeks, because really beyond that neural drive, like none of that's changing, right? Let's say you're doing all that 85 to 95%, 92%, whatever, those doubles and triples, okay? More or less close to max effort work. Sure, you're getting good neural drive out of it, particularly when we start hitting the ones at 90% and above. You can do the same thing with singles above 90. You don't have to program those schemes. It literally is the same. Not really any real difference. Okay? Did heavy work. You got neural drive. Your neural drive didn't improve. If you'd been doing that already, your neural drive didn't really increase. But you spent 6 weeks getting bigger because you probably did some supplemental work. Hopefully you did some stuff like I'm doing here. Hopefully you did. But if not, coach had you do some 3x5s, some 3x6s, some other stuff then. Okay? You had 6 weeks to grow. You had 6 weeks to bring your weakest links up. Hopefully they had you program some stuff for your weaker links. But as long as you gained muscle overall, you broke through a plateau because they got you bigger over the next 6 weeks while maintaining the neural drive, by lifting heavy. But that volume and mechanical tension from the other work gets you bigger. That's why you PR'd. Of course, occasionally you say, well, I lost a pound. I didn't get bigger. You had a little recomp then. Because that's where we get our size from. Our strength potential comes from our hypertrophy relative to our leverages. All that, the neural drive part is, about 10%. All the other factors, intramuscular coordination, neural drive, it's, probably 5 to 10%. In other words, if you come up and test your max, if you've only done tons and tons of hypertrophy and it's 500 pounds, you could probably train it up to about 530 to 550 from there. But the 500 is just from your muscle mass. Like, let's say you did just a bunch of bodybuilding, or what I really prefer to call hypertrophy type work. That's what happens. So if you're lifting heavy all the time, what else do we get? That's it. You already have good neural drive because you've been lifting heavy. Your PRs are going to come from your size. You've got to get bigger. Now, however you choose to get bigger, there's a lot of ways to do that. There's a reason I like stuff in the 8+ rep range. The reason I like doing most of it there. Doesn't beat us up the same. Because the neural drive isn't that much difference. I could have someone do a peak set, 4 to 6 reps, whatever. One peak set, but if that's a challenging 4 to 6 rep set, we can get pretty decent neural drive. Is it going to be quite the same as max effort? No. So, if you're all out at max effort work had gotten you to 550, we could probably get you to 540 off the other stuff based on your size potential, At the end of the day, it's about getting your people thicker. There's a reason most of my lifters look like they lift. How many of my clients, people see like, yeah, a lot of your clients are jacked. Yep. Because we rely on long-term tissue growth, not chasing short-term changes in neural drive and everything. But I'm not saying we don't need those things. They do. They're useful. Most of my clients do some max effort work every week. Not all of them, but the majority. I don't always. And I have plenty of phases where I'm doing some, top sets for reps. I've done my share of max effort work on camera over the years, a whole lot of it. We still use these things, they're still useful. But really get thick, and get thick in the right places. I mean, again, if you're stalled on a big lift, getting bigger overall will help. But, if you get bigger in your weakest link, then that'll help a lot too. If your triceps are limiting you and your triceps get bigger, well, your max is going to go up. If they're your weak link. If your hamstrings are your weak link and you get them a little thicker with some glute ham raises or good mornings, what's going to happen? Well, your lift's going to go up. Especially if that's the weakest link. Right? It could be overall muscle or even the specific head. Maybe it's the lateral head of your tricep limiting you. You do some extensions or some JM presses even and bring that up. What's going to happen? Max is going to go up. That's how you get through PRs. That's it. Everything else is mumbo jumbo. That's it. It's just a trick being played. The trick coaches use. That's it.